Tonight on the HPT, we're at the Ameristar Casino Hotel in East Chicago, Indiana, where a field of 434 entries generated a prize pool of $965,000.
Going out in ninth place was Roselle, Illinois native George PAPPAS.
On the button with pocket jacks, George shoved all in and was called by the ace queen of Jerry. The flop, Jack, King, 7, 2 diamonds. George's hand improves to a set of jacks while Jerry flops a straight draw. The turn card was the 10 of diamonds. Jerry makes his straight and pulls into the lead. Now George needs to see any Jack, King, 7, or 10 on the river or he will be eliminated. And the river card was the 5 of clubs. Jerry straight holds, eliminating George as tonight's 9th place finisher. He goes home with over $21,000. Our 8th place finisher was STREAMWOOD, Illinois native Jerry GUMILA. In late position with ace jack suited, Jerry shoved all in and was called by the pocket kings of Jim. The flop, 6-4 tray, 2 spades, gives Jerry a flush draw, but he's still behind. The turn card was the king of diamonds, and Jim improves to 3 of a kind. And the river card was the jack of clubs, giving Jerry a pair of jacks, but it wasn't enough. He's eliminated as our 8th place finisher and walks away with over $25,000. And finally, tonight's 7th place finisher was Orland Park, Illinois native Alex AQEL. With action folded to him in the small blind, Alex shoved all in with 8-7 of hearts and was quickly called by the ace-4 of Jim. The flop was king, queen, deuce, 2 spades, and no help for Alex. The turn card was the jack of spades. And that river card was the 10 of spades. Jim improves to a straight, but he didn't need it to knock Alex out of this tournament as our 7th place finisher for a payday of over $30,000. All right, folks, we have 6 players remaining and almost $600,000 to award, and it all starts right now.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by poker professional and coach Mr. Kenna James. Kenna, once again, we're back at the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. A lot of cash on the line as this is our Season 14 championship.
Yeah, this is the $2,500 grand finale. So it's not only this championship, but the game within the game is, can you take home the HPT Player of the Year? There's 2 players on our final table tonight, James, that are vying for that championship. Aaron Johnson needs to finish 6th or better. He's already in 6th place, so he now is the leader, but he is being chased by Jim KASPUTIS. And if he wins tonight, he will overtake Aaron and win the HPT Player of the Year title.
First place cash, just over $221,000 on the line with a prize pool of nearly $966K. There's going to be fireworks tonight, I can guarantee you that, here on the HPT. So let's go ahead and meet the rest of the players at this final table and take a look at the prize pool.
Up top, over $221,000 on down to 6th place, $37,043.
043. I like that, my friend. Well, we started with 434 entries, and now we are down to our final 6 players. And Kenna, you talk about this a lot on the HPT. 6th place money, that's good, just over $37,000. 3rd place money, almost $91,000. But 1st and 2nd, both 6-figure paydays. But let's forget about the money. When you're this close, you're just so, you're at the 5-10 yard line of being our next HPT champion.
Oh, and it doesn't get any better than this when you're vying for a championship. You peek down and you look at the Angels, pocket aces, and it looks like Jim is going to slow play it here, just limp in from the small blind, and Josh checks it back.
And it's almost like a Hollywood script. We've got the lights, the cameras, all the money, and boom, you get dealt pocket aces. The flop, 9-4 tray, couple of diamonds.
Oh, and now Jim starts to put the foot on the gas, but a little bit too late, perhaps. Josh flopping the flush draw, not going anywhere. I like this. He just calls. He doesn't do the big semi-bluff raise. Bides his time. Let's take a turn. Ooh, he picks up a gut shot straight draw to go with his flush draw.
Yeah, Josh has got some outs here as the 5 of spades hits the turn. Jim's going to bet 300,000 chips, and Josh quickly makes the call.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. To the river we go.
And just like that.
Bam.
The 3 of diamonds hits the river. Jim thinking, why didn't I bet pre-flop?
3-ball corner pocket gives Josh the ace-cracking flush. Now going for value here. Looks like, what kind of value bet here? 600, about a little heavy, a little, I like it though. But is he going to get called by aces? It's so hard to lay pocket aces down. No matter what the board reads, you get blindsided. And he does make the call. And look at this. Josh takes the first pot of the night.
Yeah, Jim doesn't like the way this final table started off. He liked it when he had the pocket aces, when he looked at them. But an example there, should he have probably raised there pre-flop?
I think so. Slow playing big pairs never really works out too well. You end up trying to trap, and then you're the trapper that ends up in your own trap. Too often I see it.
We're glad you're with us tonight here on the HPT as we broadcast at the Ameristar Casino Hotel East Chicago. Our Championship Open $2,500 event, as we talked about in the top of the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more on the line than just tonight's title.
Yeah, what Ken is talking about, of course, is our Player of the Year, and we'll update you on that later in the program.
Right now, Josh raising to 100K with ace-3. Richard calls with king, queen of clubs. And Aaron 3-bets. Richard quickly re-raises all in and is called by Aaron with his pocket tens. And just like that, James, we're off to the races.
Yeah, you're right about that. You see the percentages. The king-queen suited at 51% to Aaron's pocket tens, 48. You ask, how can a pair like tens be behind? Well, he's suited, he's connected, and it's 2 over. So to the flop we go, and look at this. Comes out ace-6 deuce, couple of clubs.
Yeah, he's just got a bevy of outs, not only clubs, a king, a queen, running straight draw. Lot to dodge here as we go to the turn.
Turn card is the 5 of spades.
Safe for Aaron. He's got one more street to dodge or he will be eliminated. To the river we go.
Oh, and the river card is one of those overs. It's the queen of diamonds. Richard wins the hand, and Aaron will be our first elimination tonight, but not for nothing. Going home with just over $37,000 in cash, and we'll have more exciting final table action right after this. Welcome back to the HPT. James Larson alongside Kenneth James here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel East Chicago. This is our Season 14 $2,500 championship. And Kenna, that's how we got a prize pool like we did, $965,650.
Always great here in Chicago. These players really support poker. Josh coming in now with ace-queen, the benefit of cracking those aces early. Vaulting his chip stack, he raises to $150,000, is quickly flatted by Richard with pocket eights.
Action now over to the 1 seat of Jim. Looks down at King 10. Jim looks a little chilly at today's final table. He's really buttoned up.
Well, both these players, I mean, it looks like we haven't paid our heating bill.
Right. 3 players going to the flop. It comes out 9-4 Trey. It's a rainbow. Jim will be first in the 1 seat. He's going to check. Over to Josh.
Perhaps they're both preparing for a cold deck.
Yeah, kind of looks that way. Check over to Richard with the best of it here with his pocket eights, and he's reaching for chips.
Now, I like this. He's protecting his equity, even though he has second pair to the board. With both opponents checking, it looks like he has the best hand. He's playing his position. He will sometimes get value because they think he's leveraging that position without a hand. And that's exactly what Jim does. Wow, look at this creative check-raise jam with no pair, no draw. Well, unless you count 2 overcards as a draw. But wow, look at this. Richard answers the call.
Just like that, flips over those pocket eights. And Jim's thinking, yeah, now I'm really cold all of a sudden. All right, turn card pairs the board. That's the 9 of spades. So now Jim looking for a king or a 10, or he will be eliminated. And the river brings the 10 of clubs.
Oh, that hurts.
The river.
Oh, my gosh. If you're Richard, I got to tell you how much that hurts. You make the hero call, you make the right call, and you get punished for it. Oh, poker can be brutal.
A pot of almost 2.8 million chips. And, you know, we've got a lot of rock stars that play poker with us here on the HPT.
Whew.
But how about our dealers? And in the box right now, a good friend of ours, Karaoke Kathy Wilson. Always great to have Kathy with us.
She is great.
Here on the HPT. Just always in good spirits and, you know, rallies around everything we do. So, Kathy, nice to have you here at this HPT final table.
And I'm going to go even further than that. All the dealers. I'm telling you, I play, and not only commentate these events, I play in our events. Our dealers are second to none.
Action over to Bobby now. As you see, Adam raised it up with his ace-jack to $150,000. And, Kenna, this is the time in the program, we're just getting started. People just kind of feeling each other out right now, you know, trying to get used to playing with the new cards and the chips and the lights and everything as the flop comes out 10-8-7.
Yeah, I like that, James. Feeling your way as the table makeup comes. Each day is new, and see what happens here now. Bobby checks his gut shot straight. Adam's got a bigger gut shot straight to the nuts and also picks up the flush draw.
Yeah, turn
now
card
on
there, the
turn.
deuce of hearts.
So this will get interesting now. Looks like he is going to go ahead and semi-bluff the nut flush draw and gut shot straight. I think that's big enough to bet. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. 175,000 pot, now over a 500,000 chips.
You know, Adam, he is the shortest stack at the table right now, so this is going to put a little tough decision on him, but he answers the call. I'm not going anywhere. Let's see a river card.
And the river card pairs the board, deuce of spades. So you see Adam with the check mark. He can't lose unless he folds. Action first to Bobby.
Yeah, this is gut check time for Bobby. Does he fire a second bullet? It really depends. He doesn't. He checks it. I'm a little bit surprised at this. You know, because he beats a lot of other draws, like a 9 or, you know, smaller pairs if somebody's trying to hero call with a 7. Could have really put some pressure on to win that pot.
So let's get back to what I was talking about. This is a new environment for some of these players. We've got the cameras. We've got the lights. You're under a microscope. What do you tell as a poker coach to your players when they make it this far to adapt to this?
Well, reduce the significance. You got to put that out of your mind and act like you're playing a $20 tournament or
Good
kitchen
advice.
table poker with your friends. You know, if you let the event overwhelm you, you just can't function properly.
But it's easier said than done, my friend.
It is. It takes practice reducing significance, but realizing that you're the one that's adding the significance to the event is the start.
And I think once you get through that first orbit, everybody starts to loosen up a little bit. It's just always that first orbit. The flop here, 10-4 deuce, couple of clubs.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. It's what was it Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan till you get hit in the mouth. Right. I promise you, after you lose a hand at the final table, you kind of shake off those cobwebs.
And by the way, we don't want to scare people from, you know, playing in the HPT. It's just, it's a little different when you're up here with the bright lights.
It's
you know?
nerve-wracking when you're playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars on national TV.
Under a microscope, I like to say. We've got cameras on every move that you make. Here is Josh now, turns 3 of a kind.
Well, these two going at battle again now. Richard, he's got a marginal hand. He is ahead of club draws and all bluffs, so he's going to call for value, not realizing, of course, that he's drawing absolutely dead.
So Jack of clubs comes on the river, an all-in bet by Josh, and that should be enough to get Richard to ride off into the sunset here with his 8-4.
You would think. I'm surprised he doesn't go for more value, but I think he's overbetting to make it look like he's bluffing and trying to get his opponent to fold. But that plan does not come to fruition, and Richard finds the muck, but Josh finds the pot.
Your winner tonight will go home with $221,293, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT. As you can see by the chip counts there, Josh and Adam up top, followed by Jim, Bobby, and Richard. We broadcast here from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. Can of blinds, 40,000, 80,000 with a 40K big blind ante.
Yeah, and looking at those chips now, you're going to see the gray chips. They're worth $5K a piece. The tan, $25K, and those blue chips, $100K a piece.
You see our first place cash. We've been talking about it all night. $221,293. Josh, he wants to be our next HPT champion, like everybody at the table. Raises to $300,000, and Jim makes the call. To the flop we go. And it comes out king, queen, 6, couple of clubs.
Yeah, these two have been doing battle all night long. You'll remember that Josh cracked Jim's aces in the first hand of the night. Now he's got the lead with his pair of kings, putting the pressure. Jim folds, and Josh, boy, just starting to own him.
Well, the guy's a beast, by the way. This may be his first HPT cash, but a win today would put him over $1 million in career earnings. He has 14 first places on his resume, including an MSP title and 10, are you ready for this? 10 WSOP circuit rings.
Wow.
One for every finger.
So you're saying he can play?
Well, yeah. All right, Richard now with a suited up king, queen of diamonds is going to shove all in.
Now, Richard's played really well tonight, not to be rewarded, but that's somehow, how the game goes. And he's definitely not rewarded here as he runs into the ace-king of Josh.
And, just a few hands ago, if you're just joining us and didn't see it, Richard had pocket 8s that were cracked on the river.
Right.
And now he runs king-queen into ace-king.
Yeah. To the flop we go.
And the flop is 8-6 deuce. It's a rainbow. No help for either player. Josh maintains his lead.
He's looking for a single diamond on the turn or a queen. Nope, it's an 8. Oh, he's down to 1 out. Just a queen. It looks like he's getting ready to pack his bags and head for the rail. Let's see.
It's not to be a queen. It's the tray of spades. So Richard will leave us in 5th place, $47,626. And Josh getting closer to hitting that $1 million mark for his career earnings as we continue action here on the HPT. Now, we talked about Player of the Year. Pretty prestigious award here on the HPT, and I know a lot of our players, it's something they gun for each and every season.
That's right. And it is not over. As you mentioned earlier on, Aaron is in the lead, but it's a 2-horse race down the backstretch.
Yes, if Jim wins this event, Jim will be our Player of the Year.
Wow.
If Jim goes out any other spot, but first, Aaron, who left in 6th place, will be our Player of the Year. So right now, Aaron can say, I'm the Player of the Year.
And it's nothing to sneeze at, because you get multiple buy-ins into other events and hotels. And so those of you who aren't playing on our tour, consider coming out and vying for that Player of the Year. It's well worth it.
Yeah, all the information, of course, on the website at hptpoker.com. Josh is going to bet this $90,000, and Bobby's going to fold, so Josh will take down that pot.
Josh just looking like a technician at work right now, just operating well, and things are going his way, as I like to say, playing well and running well.
And just 27 years old is Josh, and his first HPT cash. So he's making it a memorable one right here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel East Chicago.
How do you like the difference in dress amongst these players? You got Adam over there sitting by himself on the other end of the table with his colorful Ford hat, right?
Bobby checks his option.
And then you got everybody else in sweatsuits.
Right. All right, we got a battle of the blinds here as we go to the flop. King, queen, 5, couple of diamonds.
Yeah, this is not just a clash of technique and strategy. It's also a clash in style.
So here we are at the Ameristar East Chicago, our 13th event, season 14 championship, and this is a $2,500 buy-in. So a little different. Our buy-ins range from $1,100 to $1,650, and then this particular event every year, $2,500.
Wow, and that tends to bring out the better players as well. The bigger buy-ins, the bigger prize pools. As you mentioned earlier, the top 2 spots paying over 6 figures. That brings out the sharks.
And by the way, our opening event, just a $350 event, Kenna, 1,215 entries.
Isn't that fantastic?
It's just this area, man. They just really support poker, and they love to play, and it's awesome. Adam goes all in now with his ace deuce.
Yeah, well, he's on the short stack. This is standard. You're looking for an ace or a pair. He's just trying to get it in good.
Josh says call.
And he doesn't. I mean, wow, he runs into the buzzsaw of Josh with pocket kings. Now, this is interesting, though. You would think he's more dominated than he is, but he's still got a 30% chance to double up and stay in this tournament.
Yeah, holding that ace of diamonds, obviously, is what's helping those percentages. So kings going up against ace deuce. To the flop we go. And the flop is queen, 8-6 rainbow. The kings cruising right along. 2 cards to go, and we could have another elimination. And the turn card is the 8 of clubs.
It's the old Ace on the River, the old Barry Greenstein book. Can Josh dodge it, or will Adam catch the ace and double up?
No ace on the river. That's the 7 of spades. Josh wins the hand. Adam's eliminated, going home in 4th place with just over $63,000. And just like that, we are down to our final 3 players, and we'll be back with more HPT action after this. Welcome back to the Ameristar Casino Hotel East Chicago. We've been coming here since 2014, and since then, over $12 million in prize pool money has been awarded to our HPT players. And Kenna, we're staying with that theme tonight, as there's plenty of cash left on the table, so to speak.
There is, and it almost feels like a race for second. Bobby and Jim both on the short stacks. Compared to Josh, look at that mountain he's sitting behind, and he's going to add the pressure here, raising to $160,000 with King Jack, a reasonable hand, but I expect him to raise with any 2 napkins, having this kind of lead.
All right, so fold it over to Jimmy in the 1 seat. You see the raise was to $180,000. Jim's going to make the call.
These two going at it again. Now, see, I think Jim would normally re-raise here, but because of the factor of the pay jump of, you know, over $36,000 or nearly $36,000 between 3rd and 2nd, he takes a passive route and just calls.
Josh outflops Jim, pairing his jack. It goes check, and then a bet of $175,000, and Jim is going to quickly release that ace-9 and move on to the next hand.
Yeah, and you know what? To be fair to Jim, Josh has really outflopped him, you know, every turn of the card. If he hasn't outflopped him, he's turned him or he's rivered him. It's like a nice steak that you put on the grill.
And this guy, Josh, he owns the WSOP circuit. 10 rings. He's got an MSPT title. And like I said, 14 first places that I counted via Hendon Mob. And now Jim is all in with his ace-4. And Josh says, I'll make that call with king-queen.
Of course. He's beaten him every way till Tuesday. This is just another flip of a few cards, and he expects to knock him out. But you can see Jim is the favorite here. Can he hold up one time and keep his HPT championship drive alive, as well as for this title here tonight?
Yeah, he's going for 2 titles, really.
Yeah.
The title here tonight, and, of course, Player of the Year. Let's go to the flop, and it comes out 10-8-7. It's a rainbow.
Yeah, it's all good for Jim so far. Got 2 more streets to dodge. To the turn we go.
Turn card is the 6 of clubs.
Man, it's getting hot in there, buddy. Here we go to the river.
And the river is the deuce
safe.
of spades.
Safe.
So Jim's ace high is good enough to double up. Look, he's smiling just a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the other interested party in this is Bobby. Because as I mentioned here, for a little less than $46,000, I'm sorry, folks, is the difference between 3rd and 2nd. Had Jim been eliminated, that would have been a nice payday for Bobby.
All right, so 3 players remain. We're at 5,100 with a 50K big blind ante. I'm James Larson alongside Ken and James. Make sure to check out our website at hptpoker.com. If you want to play for hundreds of thousands of dollars like these guys, give it a shot, hptpoker.com.
Jimmy's going to move all in on the button.
Look at Jimmy making the move now. He's got the ace-jack.
Josh is going to make the
And look who makes the call. Josh makes the call.
He is a thorn in Jim's side all night long.
Yeah, it's like that piece of gum that's stuck to the bottom of your shoe, and you can't get it off.
You can't get it off. You're not going to use your fingers. You get the paper. Now the paper gets stuck. You just can't shake it. Oh, can he get lucky here one time against Josh? To the flop we go.
Ace Queen up against Ace Jack. Flop comes out King 10-7. That's interesting. Both players with a gutter Broadway draw.
Yeah, they need each other's card, though. Jim needing Josh's Queen.
See the turn card.
And the turn card is the 5 of hearts. Now, Jim needs the Queen more than Josh needs the Jack.
That's true.
Because Jim's going to be eliminated if
he doesn't need
catch
anything.
The Queen.
A deuce, he
He's
wins.
going to leave us in third
All right.
place.
To the river card we go.
River card in.
And it's not meant to be for Jim. It's the Trey of Hearts. Josh is going to win the hand. Jim's going to go home with third place money, $90,923. What a payday for Jimmy here on the HPT.
A tough finish for Jim KASPUTIS. A lot on the line. Not only this title, but the HPT Player of the Year title weighing in the balance, but he just ran into that buzzsaw called Josh. So congratulations to Aaron Johnson. He's our HPT Player of the Year, but a lot to be decided yet tonight.
Yeah, we got to talk about the rest of the show. 2 players left, and Heads Up Poker will start right after this quick commercial.
Welcome back to the HPT. We are down to our final 2 players, Josh and Bobby, playing for all the cheeseburgers tonight, but both have a 6-figure payout guaranteed.
Yeah.
Second place, $136,625. First place money, $221,293.
Yeah, it's not all the cheeseburgers, but it's a significant, we'll call it from the single to the double-double.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to go off the dollar menu if you're taking home money like this, that's for sure. All right, so fireworks right off the bat here.
Yeah, and we said that Bobby's going to have to make something happen real quick, and here he does. He gets it in, finds lightning in a bottle with Ace-Queen versus Josh's Ace-5 suited. A significant favorite to double up and get back in this match, James.
Yeah, Bobby
has ace
hoping
of
the
hearts.
Ace-Queen holds up. Josh is thinking, well, if my hand can improve, I'm going to be the next HPT champion. But to the flop we go.
It's 8-8-9 with 1 spade. Bobby needing to dodge a 5 or running spades to double up and stay in this tournament. To the turn we go.
And the turn card is another 8, this time the 8 of clubs. So Bobby just 1 street away from doubling up here on this HPT final table. And the river card is going to bring the 6 of diamonds. So Bobby, a big double up.
Bobby's going to double up. Let's get it pounded.
You hear the cheers in the audience. It's almost a wave here on the HPT.
Now, we first met Bobby at our stop at the Meadows outside of Pittsburgh, and now we see him all over the country. Brings friends with him as well, and he's been here all week playing prelims and now running very deep in our main event as he's heads up for the title.
Yeah, he's just a really sharp player. You know, he's going to get his chips in good. He knows where he's at, knows when he's in front, knows when he's behind. He's got not only a GTO player, he's got good feel. And if he can double up one more time, this is really going to be a horse race down the stretch.
Bobby's going to make the call with his King 9, and now the option over to Josh in the big. He's going to check, and to the flop we go. It's King, Jack 10, couple of hearts, so a little something for everybody there, Kenny James.
A little something more for Bobby, which he needs, by the way. He's got top pair and the same straight draw. He's going to go ahead and bet for value, $125,000. I expect Josh to call here, and he does.
All right, $125,000 and the call. Turn card now.
Ooh.
Bingo. That's the Queen of Hearts.
Now, look at this. Very interesting as both players make the bottom end of the straight. Who wants it more? Both players check.
River card is the 9 of spades, so kind of a curious hand developing here towards the end.
Well, now you would think, you know, a lot of players just check out here and just think it's a chop, but not these 2 players. They're shrewd. If they think they can bet the other player out of a chop, they'll do it. And that's exactly what Bobby is going to do here with a $500,000 chip bet, forcing Josh to make the call if he wants to go for the chop.
Now, of course, there's a higher straight out there, and the flush made it on the turn.
Yeah, so it's possible flush. Obviously, an ace makes a higher straight. Look at this. How about Josh? Josh says, oh, you don't want to chop it? All right, here, I'll put you to the real test.
And look at that. He's going to get Bobby to fold his hand. I love heads-up poker here on the HPT. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it is much easier for us up here to see the whole cards because that's a tough decision right there.
Really. A lot of leveling going on there, James. You know, poker is not just a physical game. You know, matter of fact, it's not very much physical. You're just pitching a couple of cards, right? But it's very high mental challenge, and we saw it displayed in that last hand.
And something we don't talk about enough, but these players have been battling it out the last 3 days. So fatigue comes into play, and just overall, your brain gets a little fried too.
Good point. Good point. So it's more physical than we realize when you're sitting down for 12 hours a day, 3 days in a row.
And that's why I have so much respect for these players. Let's go to the flop. Ace, king, deuce. Not a bad little flippy floppy there for Bobby.
No, he's flipped up 2 pair. Not much for Josh, though, so I expect he may give him 1 free card to elicit a bluff on the turn, but I expect him. He does. I like this. Very nice. Don't overplay your hand. Sometimes you get value by bluff catching.
5 of spades hits the turn. So now a gutter ball there for Josh. Bobby with kings and deuces.
Yeah, I don't expect him to give another free card. For sure, he's going to bet maybe 300, 400,000, something like that.
Going to bet 400,000.
Yep, he does.
400,000 action over to Josh.
Not getting the right price to call here. Will he have the discipline to lay it down, or does he see the finish line? Oh, he makes the semi-bluff. All in and is quickly called by Bobby. His trap works so far. He's got it almost locked up. If he can dodge a 3 on this river card, he will make yet another important double up, James, and be right back in this tournament for the title.
Yeah, 1 card to go here. As you can see, Bobby all in for his tournament life. Needs to make sure that this hand holds up. So let's go to the river card. And it's the 4 of spades. So Bobby is going to double up just like that.
Wow.
We've got ourselves a match.
We do. I mean, what a well-played hand. Not to overplay your hand, get scared of the possible flush draw out there, let your opponent get into the hand a little bit, and then charge him.
All right, folks, we've got to step aside for a quick commercial break, but when we come back, heads-up action will continue here on the HPT from the Ameristar Casino Hotel East Chicago. One of these 2 fellows will go home with the big payday and the title. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT. You see the chip counts there. 8-4. 2-1, if you will.
Yeah, well, you know, remember, Bobby's come back from the cellar. He had just 18 big blinds when we started heads-up play. Now he's within striking distance. He's feeling it, and he raises to 200,000. Blinds 50 and 100,000 with the 50K big blind ante.
By the way, Bobby lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His plans for the cash: he's going to be buying drinks at Jack's Bar in Pittsburgh.
Line him up.
We should fly out there for that because you're looking at the payout amounts here. That's a lot of vodka and cranberry.
Yes, it is. But look at this. All the hearts are taken up here. Josh flopping top pair. Bobby now making second pair to the bottom, as it is known. But, you know, this is another case in which both players are really shrewd. Josh didn't bet this flop. Now he's going to lead the turn, which is going to make Bobby think that, wait a minute, this guy's reaching into the cookie jar.
Yeah, the bet here is 250,000 chips, and Bobby is going to make the call.
This is kind of like a hero call in a way. He looks at those diamonds, the turn card where the action happens. You see there's 2 diamonds now, so he's thinking that his opponent is maybe bluffing a flush draw. So he's trying to really look him up with just a pair of 3s, and this is where ego can really get in the way.
Josh with the best of it. You see the check mark 100%.
Josh shows ace of hearts,
And a
seven
bet
hearts.
and a quick call. Josh is going to win the hand.
Yeah,
A pot of
you know,
$2.4 million.
And like I say, sometimes these hero calls can become chump calls. They just don't work out often enough. But your ego gets in there, and you're like, no, I'm not going to get bluffed. I'm gonna show them. And wow, that's a key pot, really.
Wouldn't you say these young guys right now, Josh and Bobby, are truly just living the dream? A couple of young guys playing for a ton of cash,
Yeah, of
professional
course.
poker players, national television. I mean, really, they're living the dream.
It is a dream, James, to be out here playing poker for hundreds of thousands of dollars, even second place guaranteed $136,000. At this age, doing what you love and making a living doing it, that's what I call success.
All right, let's go to the flop. Here comes out ace, queen, 10, couple of clubs.
Yeah, now Bobby has got the gut shot and the king high.
Josh gonna bet 200.
Josh with a gut shot as well.
Over to Bobby.
He's got it to the what we call the dummy end of the straight, though, but he also has the aggressiveness taking the lead. And that's when you want to take the lead, when you absolutely don't have much equity. To the turn we go,
card.
ooh, look at this.
There's one of those gut shots, the jack of spades.
Oh, right in the gutter. But both players making the straight now. Bobby with the higher end of it, but Josh not wanting to give up any value. Looks like about $700,000 into this million-chip pot. Ooh, boy, I love the way Bobby's played this hand once again.
Call 700,000 and a call.
Yeah, Bobby here with the best of it. Worst thing that can happen for him here is a chop. He can't lose the hand unless he folds. 9 of diamonds on the river.
Never folding the nuts unless you're blind. Here, just trying to extract max value, and he knows his opponent. He's going to check, go for more value on the river, and he gets it as Josh goes all in, and he obviously insta-calls with the nuts.
What a turn of events. Bobby goes from fumes to a pot of about 5.2 million chips.
Man, what an important pot for him to get back into this tournament now. He's going to have some breathing room.
Yeah, you're right about that. And you can see Bobby's cheering section there. They're all standing up in the front row, yelling, screaming.
Did you say
representing.
rut row or front row? Front row. That's what Josh is saying. Rut row.
All right.
This guy's coming down the backstretch.
The action continues here at the Ameristar. Who's going to take down this title? Will it be Josh or Bobby? Too close to call right now, but action will start here with Josh, and he's going to raise to $225,000 with his ace-8.
Yeah, he still has the chip lead, but Bobby's not going anywhere. He makes the call, going to defend with the queen-6. He's got his 36% equity, which rises to the top here as he flops top pair, checks it over. Looks like his style is to really rope his opponent into this pot.
Well, his opponent just roped him there, catching that ace on the turn. Josh goes in the lead in this hand.
Boy, this is really mirroring what's going on, this back and forth between these two players. The deck is playing out as well. Josh now in the lead, bets $350,000.
Bobby's going to make the call. He's going to see one more card. Pot of $1.2 million. We go to the river, and it's the Jack of Hearts. So Josh has got the best of this. Bobby going to check it over.
Yeah, I expect Josh to go for value again, although he may be a little gun shy, but nope. He's brave. He's going to go for the value. I expect about $500,000-$600,000.
And it's a bet of $900,000.
Wow, he's going for a lot of value. He's going for the whole enchilada. He's not going for the Diet Coke. He's going for the whole thing. Sugar it all, baby.
Will Bobby make this call?
Pay me to see it or throw your cards in the muck. I think Bobby tends to look up. He's got that ego thing going. I don't want to be bluffed. I want to make a hero call. You got to keep that in check, buddy.
And Bobby is going to make the call. He's going to see the bad news. Josh wins this pot of about 3 million chips. All right, time for us to take a quick break, but stick around because we're going to have the conclusion of this HPT final table as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HPT. James and Kenna with you. And you look at the chip counts now. It's a little lopsided.
Yeah,
10 to 2.
It started that way, and it's still that way. But Bobby's hung around. Just made a couple of maybe wide payoffs. Other than that, it's played really great.
I'll tell you this much, Ken. I've been on this show, working on this program for over 13 years now. This has been one of the most fun heads-up matches I've ever
really
witnessed.
has.
It's just been
I
back
agree.
and forth and just so much aggression. This is what poker is all about here on the HPT.
Yeah, these two players really leveling each other, understanding what the other one is thinking, not giving any air. As you can see, even Josh getting a little choked up there.
Yeah, right. And both just a couple of good guys. We talked to them in the commercial break. Very laid back. But listen, I'd be pretty happy, too, knowing that second place money, I'm guaranteed 6 figures no matter where I finish right now.
So you're happy with the money, but now you're really bearing down. You got your focus on that title. You see the trophy right there. Bobby, both players being aggressive with their button, which is standard, and also defending wide from the blinds. Josh defending here with the 7-6 of clubs as we go to the flop.
And the flop, all clubs, King,
man.
Jack, Trey.
Oh, fireworks here, buddy.
Wow.
Look at this. Josh, you never give your opponent credit for flopping a flush. It's like over 118 to 1 or something like that. And Bobby's got top pair and a kind of a weak flush redraw, so he's not going to be going anywhere. Oh, and there no.
300,000 and an all-in and
Quickly
a call.
Yep.
All right, set us up here, Mr. Kenneth James.
Well, it looks really bad for Bobby. He does have any club. He's still got 32% equity with 2 cards to come, so he's basically a 2-to-1 dog. But there's still 2 cards to come, so any club, even though Josh has got those blockers, as they like to say, will wrestle this pot away. He'll double up, and we'll continue our heads-up match. Anything else, Josh is going to take home the title. To the turn we go.
Turn card, no club. It's the 10 of diamonds. So we're at about 85-15% here. Josh, one more street to go to become our newest HPT champion. Will Bobby be saved by a miracle club?
Look at this. Look at the audience cheering it on. The audience is into it. The players are into it. The cash right there sitting on the table. Also the watch, the title. A lot on the line as these players are cheering, jeering. Will it be Bobby doubling up, or will Josh take home the title? To the river we go.
And the river card is the meaningless deuce of hearts.
Oh.
That's going to do it. Bobby's eliminated. Josh is your newest HPT champion here from the Ameristar Casino Hotel, East Chicago, going home with almost $222,000.
Wow, what a fantastic finish to our championship event. What a heads-up battle. I mean, Josh, he just was not going to be outdone. He's flopping flushes at 118 to 1. I mean, running well and playing well. That is the mark of a champion, my friends.
But also congratulations to Bobby, a second-place finish. What a way to represent the great state of Pennsylvania with a 6-figure payday here at our Championship Open for Season 14. Bobby's now joined with Jeremy Smith at the table.
Do you feel there's anything you could have done differently throughout the day?
There was a hand where I folded jacks to 4-bet all in. With there was a short stack. I figured the guy had ace king at worst, and I think he's like never going all in with 10s. So, I mean, I could have taken a flip there for a lot of chips, but I decided to fold, and maybe I'd like to have that one back in hindsight. But I'm okay with everything. So
Yeah, absolutely played great. Still had fun throughout the day?
oh yeah, it was a blast. Yeah, for sure.
Still leaving with just over $136,000 in cash. Any plans for the money?
Might take a vacation. Maybe upgrade my car. Maybe gamble it away. I don't, whatever. Play some more HPTs.
Congratulations once again to Bobby Noel, our second place finisher, but the night belongs to our new HPT champion, Josh Reichard.
We've been talking about Josh's resume all night long, and now with this victory, adding $221,000 to it, he's going to be well over $1 million for career earnings. Congratulations, Josh. He's joined with Jeremy Smith, our tournament director.
Tell me about that last hand.
The last hand, I flopped a flush So when you do that heads up, especially when your opponent has top pair and a flush draw, it's just like a cooler, you know. Pretty fortunate for me.
Yeah, you know, you played great throughout the day. You had him 10-1 chip lead there. He gave you a good fight there, heads up.
He gave me a run for it. I think we were like even in chips at one point after his last double up. He might have had slightly more than me for a second, or real close. But yeah, it didn't go as easily as I had hoped, but it ended up all right.
Absolutely. You know, you're still walking away with $221,000 in cash. What's your plans for the money?
Probably gonna invest in some real estate.
Okay.
And play more poker, obviously. You know, we're degens. We're getting it back in action.
We started with 434 entries, and now we are down to our champion. Josh, congratulations. A nice payday for you tonight here on the HPT.
What a journey to go through a field like that and come out with the championship. And if you at home want to learn what that feeling is like, go onto our website at hptpoker.com, find out when we're coming to a city near you, and come out and join us. You too can win an entry for as little as $100 and take home that life-changing cash.
And speaking of champions, our player of the year, Aaron Johnson, congratulations to you. At this event, he goes out in 6th, but he's going to win that player of the year for season 14, $10,000 in buy-ins. Congratulations, my friends. That's all the time we have on tonight's program. For Jeremy Smith, he's Kenneth James. I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time on the HPT.